It all began innocently enough. I had joined a new gym in town, eager to jumpstart my fitness journey and shed a few pounds. The gym was well-equipped, clean, and conveniently located, making it the perfect choice. Little did I know that my decision would lead me down a path of paranoia, fear, and a disturbing encounter with a gym stalker. The gym was always bustling with activity during peak hours, filled with enthusiastic fitness enthusiasts working toward their goals. I, however, preferred the quieter hours in the late evening when the gym was relatively empty and I could focus on my workouts without distractions. My routine was simple: cardio to start, followed by weightlifting and then a cool-down session on the stationary bike. The gym's atmosphere was serene during these late-night hours, with only a few dedicated souls sharing my preference for solitude. It was during one of these late-night sessions that I first noticed him, a tall, lanky man with unkempt hair and a perpetual scowl on his face. He seemed out of place in the gym, his attire a mishmash of old, tattered workout clothes. His presence, however, was what truly caught my attention. He would always arrive shortly after I did, as if he were deliberately syncing his schedule with mine. At first, I dismissed it as a coincidence. After all, many people followed similar workout routines, and it was entirely possible that our schedules simply aligned. But as the days turned into weeks, his behavior grew increasingly unsettling. He would position himself on the treadmill next to mine, even if there were plenty of empty machines available. His eyes would fixate on me, never wavering, as if he were studying my every move. I couldn't shake the feeling of being watched, and it began to affect my workouts. My once enjoyable sessions now felt tense and uncomfortable. I found myself glancing over my shoulder, expecting to see him lurking nearby, even when he wasn't on a machine next to mine. One evening, as I was in the middle of my weightlifting routine, I noticed him again, standing in the corner of the gym, his gaze locked onto me. My heart raced and a wave of anxiety washed over me. It was clear that this was no mere coincidence. He was following me. With trembling hands, I gathered my belongings and left the gym, my workout unfinished. I needed to distance myself from this unsettling stranger, but I couldn't shake the feeling that he would be back, that he was not finished with me. Over the next few days, I debated whether to continue going to the gym. Fear gnawed at me, and I considered reporting the stalker to the gym management. But I had no concrete evidence, only a growing sense of dread. Reluctantly, I decided to return to the gym, this time during daylight hours when it was more crowded. I hoped that the presence of other gymgoers would deter my stalker. As I entered the gym, I scanned the area, searching for any sign of the tall, lanky man. To my relief, he was nowhere to be seen. The gym was bustling with activity, and I felt a temporary sense of security. I resumed my workout routine, trying to put the unsettling episodes behind me. But just as I began to relax, I noticed him again, lurking in the shadows at the far end of the gym. My heart sank, and I knew that I had to confront this gym stalker once and for all. I approached him, my voice trembling as I demanded an explanation for his behavior. He met my gaze with a cold, unblinking stare, his lips curling into a sinister smile. It sent shivers down my spine, and I realized that I was dealing with someone unhinged. Without waiting for a response, I turned and fled the gym, my heart pounding in my chest. I reported the incident to the gym management, providing them with a description of the man and the unsettling encounters I had experienced. They assured me that they would take the matter seriously and investigate the situation. In the days that followed, I learned that I was not the only one who had been targeted by this gym stalker. Other gym-goers had reported similar encounters, describing the same tall, lanky man with the piercing stare. It seemed that he had been terrorizing unsuspecting visitors for some time. The gym management reviewed security footage and identified the stalker. He was promptly banned from the premises, and the authorities were notified of his disturbing behavior. It turned out that he had a history of harassment and had been previously banned from other establishments. As I reflected on the ordeal, I couldn't help but feel a mixture of relief and lingering unease. I had escaped a potentially dangerous situation, but the memory of those chilling encounters would stay with me for a long time. The gym, once a place of fitness and self-improvement, had become a source of fear and paranoia. It was a stark reminder that safety should never be taken for granted, even in the most familiar and seemingly benign places. In the end, I continued my fitness journey, but I chose a different gym, one where I could work out without the constant fear of being watched. The gym stalker had left a lasting impact on me, a reminder that the pursuit of health and wellness should always be accompanied by vigilance and awareness.
It was a chilly winter evening when I decided to hit the gym. The days had grown shorter, and the biting cold outside made the idea of a workout indoors all the more appealing. The gym had always been my refuge, a place to escape the demands of daily life and focus on my physical well-being. But on this particular night, I would experience something that defied all rational explanation. As I entered the gym, I was greeted by the familiar hum of exercise machines and the rhythmic clinking of weights. The atmosphere was subdued, with only a handful of other gym-goers scattered throughout the space. I preferred it that way. The quietude of the gym during off-peak hours allowed me to immerse myself fully in my workout. I started with my usual warm-up routine, the sounds of my footsteps on the treadmill and the soft music in my headphones serving as my soundtrack. Everything seemed perfectly normal, and I was eager to begin my workout. But as I transitioned to the weightlifting section, something shifted in the atmosphere. It started with a subtle drop in temperature, a chill that seemed to settle in the air. I shivered, attributing it to the winter weather outside and the gym's climate control system. As I continued my exercises, I couldn't shake the feeling that something was off. It was as if a heaviness had descended upon the gym, an inexplicable sense of unease. I glanced around, half expecting to see another gym-goer who might be responsible for the strange sensation, but the gym remained eerily empty. It was then that I noticed it, a shadowy figure out of the corner of my eye. It moved silently, just beyond the edge of my vision. I turned to look, but there was no one there. My heart quickened its pace, and I felt a creeping sense of dread. I tried to dismiss it as a trick of the gym's lighting or my own fatigue, but the feeling of being watched persisted. With trepidation, I continued my workout, my gaze darting around the weight room, searching for any sign of the elusive presence. Then, as I approached the free weights, the strange phenomenon escalated. The weights themselves seemed to move of their own accord, shifting and clinking together as if manipulated by an invisible force. My initial shock gave way to a deep sense of unease. I knew I couldn't ignore this any longer. I decided to investigate, my curiosity warring with my fear. I approached the area where the weights had moved, shining my flashlight into the dim corners of the gym. As I ventured deeper into the gym, I began to hear it, faint whispers, like a distant, ghostly choir. The whispers had no discernible words, just an eerie murmur that sent shivers down my spine. My flashlight revealed nothing out of the ordinary, and I couldn't pinpoint the source of the haunting voices. The gym's atmosphere grew more oppressive with each step, and I couldn't shake the feeling that I was not alone. Fear and curiosity battled within me, but I pressed on, determined to uncover the mystery. The whispers persisted, growing slightly louder as I approached a particularly dark corner of the gym. It was there that the sensation of being watched was at its strongest. My flashlight revealed nothing, but I couldn't escape the feeling that I was on the brink of a profound and unsettling discovery. With trembling hands, I reached the corner and scanned the area with my flashlight. There was nothing there, just a row of dumbbells and exercise benches. But the whispers continued, as if mocking my efforts to understand. I considered calling out, to challenge whatever unseen force was responsible for the whispers, but a deep sense of unease held me back. What if I were dealing with something beyond my comprehension, something that could not be reasoned with? After what felt like an eternity, I made the decision to leave the gym. My heart was still racing, and a cold sweat clung to my skin. I gathered my belongings, my gaze lingering on the corner where the whispers had originated. The gym's silence had returned, but the memory of the haunting voices lingered in my mind. Outside, the chill of the winter night air was a stark contrast to the gym's inexplicable atmosphere. I couldn't help but wonder about the history of the gym, whether something tragic or supernatural had occurred within those walls. In the days that followed, I couldn't shake the memory of those haunting whispers. I confided in friends, but their rational explanations fell short. It seemed that the gym had become a place where the line between reality and the supernatural blurred, a place where the echoes of the past mingled with the present. I began to research the history of the gym, hoping to uncover any clues that might shed light on the eerie whispers. What I discovered only deepened the mystery. It turned out that the gym had been built on the site of an old hospital, a place with a dark history of unexplained deaths and mysterious occurrences. Could it be that the whispers were the echoes of the past, the voices of those who had once inhabited the hospital? Or was there something more malevolent at play, something that sought to draw me into its enigmatic web? As I delved deeper into the gym's history, I realized that I was not the only one who had experienced the inexplicable. Other gym-goers had reported strange phenomena, flickering lights, unexplained cold spots, and the feeling of being watched. It seemed that the gym was a place where the boundaries of reality and the supernatural converged, a place where the echoes of the past mingled with the present. And as I continued my research, I couldn't help but wonder if I had merely scratched the surface of the gym's dark secrets. In the end, I may never fully understand the nature of those haunting whispers. But one thing is certain, they have left an indelible mark on my memory, a reminder that sometimes, the line between the ordinary and the paranormal is thinner than we might imagine. And in the quiet solitude of the gym at night, the unknown can come to life in the most unsettling of ways. I had always been a believer in the power of personal trainers. Their expertise, motivation, and guidance can make a world of difference in achieving fitness goals. So, when I decided to take my fitness journey to the next level, I eagerly hired a personal trainer named Mark. Mark was a friendly and enthusiastic trainer with a reputation for helping his clients achieve remarkable transformations. Our sessions were scheduled for early mornings, before the gym became crowded with the usual hustle and bustle. It was the perfect way to start my day, or so I thought. Our workouts were intense, and Mark pushed me to my limits, helping me lift heavier weights and push through plateaus. I was making great progress, and I couldn't have been happier with my choice of trainer. But one fateful morning, everything changed. It was a particularly challenging session. Mark had me working on my deadlifts, and I was struggling with a heavy set of weights. My muscles were burning, and I could feel the sweat trickling down my brow. Mark was right there, spotting me and offering words of encouragement. As I strained to lift the weights, something peculiar happened. I felt a sudden shift in the air, like a subtle breeze brushing against my skin. It was an odd sensation, but I brushed it off as a draft from the gym's ventilation system. After all, I was in the middle of an intense workout, and my mind was focused on the task at hand. But then, in the blink of an eye, Mark was gone. It was as if he had vanished into thin air. One moment he was right behind me, supporting my lift, and the next, there was nothing but empty space. I lowered the weights and looked around, panic rising within me. The gym was eerily quiet, and there was no sign of Mark. I called out his name, but my voice echoed in the empty space. I rushed to the door, thinking he might have stepped out momentarily, but it was locked from the inside. My heart pounded as I realized the gravity of the situation. Mark had simply disappeared without a trace. I felt a wave of fear wash over me, not knowing what had happened to my trainer or how to explain his sudden disappearance. I frantically searched the gym, checked the restroom, and even ventured into the dimly lit storage room, but Mark was nowhere to be found. It was as if he had been swallowed by the gym itself. I couldn't wrap my head around it. There were no hidden exits or secret passages in the gym. The only way in or out was through the main entrance, and I had been standing right there. I even questioned other gym-goers who had started to trickle in, but none of them had seen Mark either. I decided to inform the gym staff about the bizarre incident. They were as puzzled as I was but assured me that they would review the security footage. I left the gym that day with a heavy heart and a sense of unease that would linger for weeks. Days turned into weeks, and there was no sign of Mark. The gym staff reviewed the security footage, but it revealed nothing out of the ordinary. Mark had been there one moment, and the next, he had vanished without explanation. The incident haunted me, and I couldn't shake the feeling that something supernatural had occurred that day. I researched the gym's history, wondering if there had been any strange occurrences in the past, but I found no answers. To this day, the mystery of Mark's disappearance remains unsolved. I've since continued my fitness journey, but I can't help but wonder if there are forces at play in that gym that defy explanation. The Vanishing Trainer is a story I share cautiously, as it challenges the boundaries of reality and leaves me with a lingering sense of unease whenever I step into a gym.